When should you incorporate? Quick answer, I don't know. Thanks for watching. Just kidding. But in this video, I'm going to share what Heidi and I did, and I'll give you some basic definitions. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Right up front, I'm not a tax whiz or accountant guru, so if you want accurate advice geared to what you need, you gotta consult a professional. As for me, I'm just gonna share information that hopefully will help guide you as you assess your situation and try and navigate something that every voice actor or actor has to figure out at some point, especially during tax season. Incorporating. Not gonna lie, it's kinda cool. What name should I choose? I can't wait to tell mom and dad I'm a legit biz. My swag is gonna be amazing. Yeah, all that's the fun part. But the real questions are, should you do it? And if so, when? Now, this information is based on our accountant's advice and our own experience for our specific needs. However, again, I'm not an accountant, so please seek specific further advice from a pro. First, let's talk about what incorporating means. Incorporation, the legal process used to form a corporate entity or company. A corporation is a separate legal entity from its owners with its own rights and obligations. Why would that be necessary? Because as a voiceover actor, as we always say in our classes and workshops, you are a small business and you need to treat yourself as one. Why do you have to consider yourself a small biz? Because you'll need to keep track of income, expenses, invoices, not to mention all the other stuff that you have to do as a business, like making sure you market, post on social media, network, and more. You wear many hats as an entrepreneur. Creating a legal company, and this is key, allows you to separate your business finances from your personal finances, along with protecting your personal assets. Seems like you'd want to sign up immediately based on that, right? Well, possibly. But there are different options based on what you prefer and where you are in your voiceover career. In voiceover reads, you know that there's subtleties and nuances. Well, there are a ton in whether or not you should incorporate. I'm going to share what Heidi and I did, and you can choose what works best for you. Let's start with Heidi. The first thing she did was create a DBA, which stands for Doing Business As. A DBA is a legal document stating that you as an individual are doing business as, fill in the blank of your name or whatever you want to do. It allows you to create a business bank account so you can separate that from your personal account. You come up with a business name. For Heidi, she used Heidi Rue Productions because it was going to encompass her on camera as well as voiceover work and anything else she wanted to create. She did that when she was working full-time in radio. She wanted to separate her personal account and income in radio from her voiceover and on-camera income so she could keep better track and know what she had monetarily to spend on business expenses like her website, headshots, training, that sort of thing. You get the idea. File for a DBA. This must be done through the clerk of Superior Court in the county where you conduct business. Now, you can easily find the clerk online or call the number on the site and they'll lead you through it. To file for a DBA, this must be done through the clerk of the Superior Court in the county where you conduct business. You can easily find the clerk online, and if you're having trouble, call the number on the site and they'll lead you through it. But if you do find it online, you'll fill out the appropriate paperwork, get it notarized, and file. Pretty sure it's only $50. And you may either have to pay cash or cashier's check to do it. I'm not sure which. Cash usually works though. So she had Heidi Stout, DBA, Heidi Rue Productions for at least a couple years while she was working full-time. Once she began making over $10,000 in voiceover, our accountant mentioned that now would probably be a good time to set up an LLC. Right. What's an LLC? See, that's one reason accountants and financial planners are amazing. They know things. LLC, Limited Liability Company, a corporate structure whereby the member or members of the company cannot be held personally liable for the company's debts or liabilities, which is great. So, from that description, you can see it's more than just whether you make over $10,000 or not. So, how do you know when to create an LLC? Here's what our accountant said at the time. If the person is committed to the business and it's not just a hobby, but a business that will be their livelihood, I would say go ahead. Once that person knows it is a viable business model and that it will work. If it is a hobby or sideline business that they're doing just for fun or extra money, the person could wait even longer than the $10,000 as a number just to be sure before going ahead with the entity formation expenses. But once they open the entity, they must file federal and state tax returns, file with the Secretary of the State of Georgia, or your state, and pay the annual registration fees, etc. It's a commitment to the business that requires work, money, and time. For Heidi, she knew it was time to form an LLC after she quit her full-time job in radio and knew that her voiceover and on-camera career would be her full-time income. That first year, she brought in around $50,000. And side note, she didn't start making that out of the gate. This was after 4 years of working her voiceover business on the side while having a full-time job. So how do you create an LLC? This involves a lot more assessment of your personal goals and where you are in your career. Now, Heidi's Heidi Rue Productions LLC is a sole proprietorship, but for me, me, I have Mic'd Out Productions, Inc., which is something called an S Corp, and that covers my voiceover and on-camera work and anything else that falls under that umbrella. I do a monthly payroll for my income, and I have an accountant do that for me. It costs extra, but it's well worth the hassle. I'd rather spend that time paying someone else who can do it quickly and spend my time auditioning, marketing, or actually booking gigs. I can make way more than I have to pay someone for doing the payroll. So while I have a monthly payroll, Heidi does something called a guaranteed payment. And for both Heidi and I, these individual decisions came from our own goals and income. And that's where you have to do some assessing of your voiceover business. We can't and won't give you advice because we can't. We don't know the specifics and we're not pros. So always call on a professional. The name of the game is finding a professional accountant to figure out what is better for you, an LLC or S Corp or whatever else might be available to you. Now, you may not be in Georgia, but if you are, there's a really great article on how to form an LLC in Georgia, and we'll put that link in the show notes. No matter where you are, it's still a good site to go to and watch the video, at least to get your sea legs and understand a bit more. I highly recommend you start keeping track of income and expenses. It can be as simple as an Excel or number spreadsheet or using QuickBooks, whatever works for you. Heidi's friend Danny States has a fantastic program called the Voiceover, and that's at voiceoverview.com, which is a voiceover business management tool. It'll help you keep track of your auditions, your jobs, your payments, and it'll help you get insight into your top clients and a whole lot more. Whew! I know, it's a lot. Try not to feel overwhelmed. Neither Heidi nor I are great at finance. And as creatives, it's the last thing we want to do or learn. But every year we set out to learn just a little bit more, and that's kind of helped us. It's like compound interest. Do a little bit intentionally over the year, and that cumulative knowledge will grow quickly. Now, you don't have to have everything figured out all at once, so give yourself a little grace and time, and things are going to come together. That's how it happened for me and Heidi, as well as the countless other full-time talent we know or who have trained with us at the Atlanta Voiceover Studio and ProVoiceoverTraining.com, who've gone on to have full careers themselves. Well, I hope you got some useful information out of this video. Keep checking back. We're going to keep trying to put out more info and content that can help you in your voiceover business.
Not sure if you know this, but if you ever want to train with a professional, you can always go to AtlantaVoiceoverStudio.com and click on Private Coaches in the menu.
Yeah, we have a full list of coaches who will meet up with you live on Zoom and help you work on whatever you need. Whether you're trying to master the conversational natural read, you want to practice bringing a script to life as opposed to just reading it,
or if you'd like to make sure that your home studio is set up properly, we have a private coach for that. We're here to help you on your VO journey.